Hi neighbors, it's John Franklin, Deputy Mayor of the City of Vista here. A lot of our neighbors here want to understand where this trash and this encampment has come from. I met today with JR. Him and Dennis are living with these items. And I really want you to understand what the source of the problem is that we face, not just in Vista, but everywhere in the state of California. The problem is JR is mentally ill. I asked him for his permission to use his name and his story and to take his picture and share it with you. He receives $1,200 a month on Social Security. The people that he lives with are stealing it from him every month. He's mentally ill and he needs help. The Landrum and Petra Short Act, California state law, prohibits us from helping JR because he's not an imminent threat to his own safety or the safety of others. I have asked Tasha Borner-Horvath, our state assemblywoman. I've spoken to our state senator, Pat Bates. I have spoken, in fact, with numerous members of the state legislature, and I have asked them to give this change to law the urgent attention it needs. Governor Gavin Newsom, in the 2020 State of the State address, called for a reform of the Landrum and Petra Short Act, which would enable us to get someone like JR, who at the age of 69 deserves a retirement in a safe and clean environment that's conducive to his health. But he's being deprived of it because he's victimized on the streets and because society has not stepped in to help him. As your city councilman, you can't imagine how frustrating it is to want to do something to help someone who clearly deserves help, who clearly needs it. But I asked him today, I showed him pictures of the La Posada shelter. It's only a few miles from here. There's a bed available tonight. I asked him if he would go. It's a beautiful facility, clean bathrooms, clean beds. He won't go because he can't take all of these items with him. That's a clear symptom of mental illness. The fact that these items deprive him of the desire to go and get safe and clean and get meals that are nutritious and get the mental health that he needs. We've got to do better. I'm asking every citizen watching this right now, reach out to your state assembly member. Here in Vista, it's Tasha Borner-Horvath. She has the ability to speak up, to make change to state law so that we can help JR. I met another man who was here in the parking lot tonight. He was looking for a place to drop his homeless son. He was in his 70s. His son is 40 years old. His son is addicted to fentanyl. Another son of his died recently of fentanyl overdose. It was a heartbreaking story, it really was. His wife and him told his 40-year-old son that he could live at home, but he couldn't do fentanyl and live at home. His behavior is dangerous and erratic and threatened the safety of him and his wife. And so one of our neighbors is looking for a place for his son to live on the streets. It's criminally immoral that we do not have the ability to help a 40-year-old man get the help that he needs to be treated for his fentanyl addiction. He has to make a choice in a drug-clouded state of mind to choose rehabilitation. But folks, with fentanyl in his blood, he will never be able to choose the right thing for his own mental health and safety. We have got to step up and do a better job as society, and we've got to demand change to state law. So read an article, I'll link one here, about Gavin Newsom and his advocacy for the reform of Landrum and Petra Short, the state law in California that stops us from getting help for the mentally ill and drug addicted unless they choose it. But folks, they cannot choose in this state of mind a rational choice. They cannot make a rational choice. This is the source of this problem. Now, the Sheriff's Department told JR that if he doesn't move along, he'll be arrested. I spoke today to Adrian, who owns this property. He's at his wit's end. He spent thousands of dollars trying to clean the problem up. The city of Vista has worked tirelessly to try and clean the problem up, and yet still the problem persists. JR is going to move down the road, he told me. And in a few hours, the problem will be down the road. All we can lawfully do is ask him to move off the property that's not his. If he complies, there's nothing else we can do. That's wrong because he needs help. I want you to know what the problems are that we face. I want you to understand the problem better. I've been working for years to dig into this. I've been calling for 5 years now for a reform to the law that prevents us from helping people like JR and the gentleman who is here with his son looking for a place to leave his son. I appreciate you taking the time to watch and listen. I'm going to continue to do the best job I can to educate you, the public, on what really drives and causes this problem that we face together. We have an obligation to do better for the least among us. We have an obligation to our own neighborhood for a safe and a clean neighborhood. Together, we can solve this problem, but it will require all of us as citizens speaking out to the legislature and demanding a real solution for those who suffer from mental illness and drug addiction, which is in itself a mental illness that is diagnosable and called a mental illness by the American Psychiatric Association. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching the video. Please send it along to a few others who need this important information so they can understand how we work together to help individuals who suffer from homelessness and how we work together to reclaim our neighborhoods. Thank you.